What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. We figured we'd do a shop project update, I guess you could say, or projects for sale. Been itching to start a build. Not sure what that's going to be yet, and thought maybe you guys could give some input on that. But figured we'd give a walk around on some of our inventory, some of the project vehicles we have, some of the parts vehicles. Not going to spend a lot of time on the parts vehicles. But yeah, I figured we'd show some of the inventory. Pretty much everything I have is for sale. I am not attached. I don't get attached to anything. So if you guys see something you want, shoot us a message, comment, whatever, and we'll try to get you the details on it. Obviously, I don't have time to spend sending 8,000 pictures, so not big on that. So if you're serious, get with us and we'll try to do a video on the vehicle or whatever. But a lot of our parts vehicles, as we get them dismantled, they go on our eBay store. So check out Snagtown. That's our username on eBay. If you guys see something that you're looking for parts for, let us know. But generally I have to just list them as we get the parts pulled, because I can't keep up with people saying, hey, you got this, and expect us to dismantle the parts as people request them. I just don't have the manpower to do that because it's too overwhelming. So
it's very tedious.
Yeah, it's just too much. So anyway, figure we'd do a walk around real quick and show you guys what we have, talk a little bit about it, give you some details on it. Currently we have here at the shop, there's probably 10 projects, and then there's another, I don't know, three or four out at the other property. And I don't think we're going to go out there right now, but there is a 66 Jeep Wagoneer out there that is low miles but has set since 78, I think. It looks bad because it's got a lot of surface rust, but man, the thing is solid and the floors on it are perfect. But I personally would have to go look at that again to even get somebody a price on it. But it would be a nice builder, and it is complete. There's the Ford cab over out there from the B episode. If you guys haven't seen that, check that out. That one's pretty crusty. It's missing a hood. Make somebody a decent deal on that one for being a cab over. Got the neighbor's cat meowing in the background. He's pissed because he's outside. Anyway, we'll do a quick walk around and I'll show you some of the stuff we got in the inventory, and you guys let us know what you think we ought to build first, and I'll give you my idea what my first build should be.
You forgot about the 52 Ford car.
Yeah, there's a 52 Ford two-door sedan out there that I got off Steven, my oldest boy. He was going to do a gasser build on it. It's from Colorado, but it does need floor pans. We have new window seals for that car. I think that one's got a title. If not, I can get a title for it.
I'm pretty sure it has a title.
Yeah, no drivetrain in that one. He was going to put a 500 Cadillac in it, but that Cadillac motor went elsewhere. So, but anyway, let's get started on some of these junkers we got, and I'll just flip you guys around real quick. So we got half of I think this is a 39. I can't remember on that. 39 Ford two-door sedan. Somebody's got a use for that thing, let me know. These two halves of a Plymouth, they're destined for the UK. The Mustang is not ours. Four-door 39, I believe. I never can remember these Fords. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering these years, but not a lot left of that one. It's pretty crusty. Indiana car, frame's rotten. Does have a complete drivetrain in it, but I don't know that it'd be worth anything at this point. So eventually this will get parted out on eBay, so if you keep an eye on that. And then we got, I think this was a 62.
Yeah.
This is a Kansas truck, but it is the rustiest Kansas truck I've ever owned. Complete truck. This has a title in my name. Remember how to open the hood on this dude. I believe it's a 327. We have had it running off of a gas can, you know, force feeding it. Complete. I mean, it's kind of crazy. If you know these trucks, these things always rot out up here. This one's solid. Firewall and all that solid, but it is rotted out across the brow, and it's really rotten on the inside. The floors are rotted out. It's got a homemade rocker on this side, but it is a factory K truck, and what that means, for those that don't know, is there's a factory K-VIN truck, which indicates that it's factory four-wheel drive, and that's pretty rare. So if somebody was interested in this, I've got 4,000 on it from when we was at the last swap meet, just because of the rarity of the truck. Like I said, it's got parts in it. So excuse you there. How much of that you can see. Try not to lose a finger. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know how much of that you can see, but it's got rust in the brow. Let go of me. It's got rust in the brow like all of them do, but they do make those panels now, and this door is a pain to open because this cab's floppy because the rockers are gone. Bed is pretty solid. The spot there, and if I remember right, we have a set of bed sides that are really nice for this. They have some dents, but they could be solid. Yeah, they're solid, but they're a little beat up.
They're the tan ones?
I think they're just white.
They're just white, light tan.
But they're fleet side. This is a long bed, half ton. Like I said, 4-wheel drive, 4-speed manual with a divorce transfer case. I can't remember what transfer case is in it, but say it wouldn't bother me to let this one go. We bought this because when we bought this, the plan was to build a vintage class truck for the Baja 1000. That's always been a bucket list item, and was going to do that and a stock class build, the 4600 for Ultra 4. Well, shortly after buying this and starting to prepare to build it and collecting parts is when I found out I had to have spinal cord surgery. So the neurosurgeon was like, yeah, you're not doing that. So that has definitely took a back seat, and since then my interest in that build have shifted. So that's why I don't care if this one moves along, is what it is. So if it sits here long enough, we might do something with it. Like I said, it does run. We've never tried to move it because we was force feeding it off a gas can, but it does run. Next one here, this one I would say it's for sale, not on sale. Stupid clean. It's a 1960, and by clean I mean it doesn't have any rust. When I say no rust, I mean no rust. This thing is crazy. I guess it's got a little bit where somebody's welded the running board right there, but open it up what we can. It's kind of close to this Cadillac. Look at these floors. That's oil. It's not rust. They had an oil jug set in this seat with a pump on it, and I don't know what they were using this truck for, but it was designated for just that. But I can't fit my fat butt in there to move them hubcaps. But floor's perfect. That cab is perfect. Dash, you know, it's a solid truck.
You can see the whole floorboard on this side.
Can you? We'll make our way over there. It's got a bruise up there. Nothing not fixable. And this truck is complete. Other than, let's see if we can get here. Come on. Oh, I got to hold that for a second. So, complete other than carburetor, alternator, and radiator. Sad story on the estate these came from. The gentleman that had these developed Alzheimer's, dementia, and believed that his family was broke and that he needed to come up with some money for whatever reason. We're not sure why he had that mindset. Neighbors graciously started up his mower for us, so I apologize if that's overwhelmingly loud. he went around and pulled the radiators out of everything, and somebody had convinced them that he needed to sell them for $3 a piece. So a lot of the vehicles from this estate didn't have a radiator in them, and that's why. So
That's crazy.
it's sad is what it is, that somebody would take advantage of somebody in that situation. So that's why this doesn't have a radiator, and the Ford we're going to show you here in a minute, that's why it doesn't have a radiator. But when I say rust free, she's pretty solid. A little bit of surface rust. People out west are like, oh, that's not rust free. Well, let me tell you, here in Indiana, that's rust free. You just get rid of that dried out thing. But yeah, she's solid, and she has amazing patina. And Alicia's favorite color
The best color.
is teal.
It's the only color.
Imagine that. So yeah, it needs some love on that door for sure, but I'd much rather fix that door than a ton of rust. And this motor is free.
Here's your
Oh,
flip
there's the bedsides we was just talking about. Yeah.
side. Yep.
So if a guy was dead set on fixing that bed over there, there's bedsides. Or if you're interested in this bed, yeah, that's for sale too. I said this truck here, it's going to take crazy money to buy it because we don't want to get rid of it, or I don't want to get rid of it anyway. I think I had $8 grand listed on it, which if you look at what some of these trucks are going for once they're running and driving, that's really not a bad price, honestly, for as clean as it is. Windshield I get installed with new rubber here locally, $350 I think it was installed, so not a bad price on that to have a nice truck. I mean, you can get, LMC has everything for these bad boys really cheap, honestly. Everything from complete seat rebuilds to you know, every little nickel and dime piece you could ever think of. So I'm just gonna walk on past this square body frame. Only reason we bought this was for one, it was a good deal, but that motor is supposed to run. It's got an aftermarket intake carb, turbo 350, 203 transfer case, Dana 44 front, 14 bolt rear. Good parts there. I don't know that we'll do anything with it, but we've got it, you know. Here's the Ford that I was talking about. 41 Ford Deluxe, but I don't remember how to put my hood on. Take you back. This one's complete as well. She spins over. Again, like I said, the radiator's gone, generator's gone. I may have a generator.
You didn't have this one running though, right?
I have not had
We
this
just
one
turned it
running,
over.
but it's a flathead. If it turns over, it'll run. Yeah, now, you know, I mean, it's possible that it's cracked or something like that. You never know. But here's the worst part on this car. Both of them fenders are rusted around where the headlight ring would go. I've got another grill centerpiece. I got at the last swap meet for it. Each fender's got a little bit of rust right there. Nothing horrible, but this, other than that, you know, the fenders, like I said, the front fenders are the worst part of this car because this thing is stupid solid as well. We've been using it as a storage shed since the last swap meet. Running boards are good. Floors are just amazing. It still had the factory rubber on it, you know.
The grill's
So,
in here.
what's that?
The grill. that
Yeah,
you were
there-
talking about.
There's a grill. I don't think it's quite the right one. This is a stamped steel grill, and this has cast aluminum, I believe it is, a grill. So, like I said, it's got crap in here from the swap meet yet. That back seat doesn't fit it. Don't know what that's to, but it's not this. I guess there's another downfall to this car. Not a huge one, but somebody's cut that rear bracing out that's supposed to be for the back seat and used this thing as a truck, which wasn't uncommon out there. I'm not going to pull everything out of this right now, but the floors on it, well, you're going to have to help me out there, Alicia. Pull that tarp down. You can't be in the door. Just grab it right there and hold down on it. There we go. This car is stupid clean for being a 41. said, it's still got, hold that up, that thing will kill you. When is the last time you've seen a tool tray in one of these this solid? It's got some cracks and stuff, don't get me wrong, but usually this from here down is completely gone, and it's got a little bit of rust there, but she's pretty dang solid. I wish all that crap wasn't in there so I could show you a better idea. But I say it'll take off on you. Somebody gave it some love taps with a tractor or something at some point. I don't know what's up with that, but stupid solid car. It's got 16s on it now. I have not did the paperwork to get a title on this one, but I will. It's got a good vent in the frame. I just haven't crawled down in there cleaning it enough. There's the glove box. Kind of nice of them to leave that for us. No hinges though. No, the hinges are there. My bad. I don't know why somebody would took that off, but she's there. Somebody's took the liberty of breaking a bunch of the hand cranks off the stuff, but yeah, pop it out. Looks like I had 4,000 on this at the last swap meet, but somebody's interested, make me an offer. I'll say that $4,000 price, we'll do the work and get a title for it, so it will sell with a title. Nobody's got to worry about that. So yeah, 41 Ford, flathead V8, all complete for the most part, except for the headlights. I honestly think the back seat, I think that's about the only thing missing off that one. Yep. So stupid solid car for a 41 if somebody wants a 41 Deluxe 2-door sedan. Parts car here, this thing is roached. This one, the 39 Ford and the other half of 39 Ford, this shoebox Ford parts car, this shoebox Ford parts car, that Cadillac all came from the same estate. We're going to do a video with that family again here soon, hopefully. Supposed to go this weekend and look at buying the remainder of that estate, and a damn Ford cut me. Have to cut that out. Supposed to get with that family this weekend and buy the remainder of that estate. So we did video picking those cars up, and that's actually some of the first video footage we ever shot, and just never did nothing with it. We were definitely still learning at that point. It's all cell phone footage and it's not the greatest, but if we go back and finish buying the rest of that estate and helping that family liquidate that stuff, we'll include that footage then. Until then, I'm not sure if we'll do anything with it or not.
It's a pretty cool story though, with
yeah,
this history, who
yeah,
it came from. Yeah,
we'll do a little bit of history on this estate in that video. I don't want to spoil you. I'll spoil that with this video, but
it's a good story though.
Yeah. This here, I believe it's a 69 Jeepster. It has title in my name. Somebody's did some really questionable body work in the past, but there's nothing like, I don't know, this thing is just not my speed. It's not a bad unit. I think somebody's probably put floors in it and then put that indoor outdoor carpet in it. Very complete though. I don't think it has a gas tank in it, if I remember. I got it wrote on it, runs, moves, has brakes, and has title. 2,500 bucks. So we did nothing. We did nothing with the brakes on this thing. It came from a somewhat local estate, and we got it running. And
we ran it off a gas can.
Yeah, we had a little 1-gallon gas can, and it's funny, people argue with me on this. It's got the Buick. Ooh, grab that rod for me, please. Make it.
Where'd it go?
To that slot, probably. Maybe not. Well, it's going there now. Got the Buick. Got a Buick V6 in it that does run. It doesn't run the happiest. There's the battery I couldn't find the other day. It doesn't run the happiest because we didn't give it any tune-up or anything. We cleaned the points, hooked it up to a 1-gallon gas can, and this little dude here, and fired it up. And like I said, we drove it on and off the trailer at the last swap meet. But, you know, I wouldn't say I drove it per se. I moved it under some power. It's got a new hatch in the back there, because this one, not new to it, because this one's toast. But pretty complete unit, pretty cool, 4-wheel drive. Make somebody a cool little family cruiser for sure. But if somebody's interested in this, get with me. You want to help me with this hood prop, Trudy? It's not my speed. I think it hooks right here in the head. No?
I think it's supposed to.
Yeah, you're not quite going in it. You're stopping before it pops in for some reason. I think it's bent. Oh well, it's all right.
It's bent.
Yeah. So, what I was saying, thing's not our speed. I do have the headlight rings for it too. The thing's not necessarily my speed, as far as it's not something that I'm like into. There's nothing wrong with it. It definitely could be a cool build for somebody. If somebody wanted to build it and get crazy with it. I've been told they dang near bolt on a JK frame. I don't know if that's true or not, but could make somebody a really cool build for sure. I know Marvin Stamble, I'm not sure if his is the exact same body style, but he's got a pretty killer one. But this Cadillac is another parts car. Eventually we'll pull this in and completely dismantle it down to nothing. It is so rotten that you can't hardly pick it up from underneath because it wants to flex and bend. The frame on these is just gone. A guy would have to build a new frame for these. So it's not worthy of a build. But like I said, eventually this will get parted out on our eBay store. So like I said, watch that if you're needing parts. And then we're down to this one. This one is the one I'm really thinking about doing our next build on. It is I don't even know what year it is. I have no idea. It's a Plymouth Coupe. Bought this one out in Kansas pretty cheap. And like I said, I wouldn't mind building this, but if somebody wants this car, I will sell it pretty cheap. Doesn't mean I'm selling it for what I got in it. I hauled this stupid thing, over 1,000 miles home. But it has got some damage. Some stupid has happened right there. And somebody's wrapped a chain around there and watered up. Yeah, the neighbor shut the power washer off. They wrapped the chain around it and watered that up.
It's not as bad on this side, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's any of it's bad. It's fixable. I'm being attacked by a skid right now. This door does open, but I think it might be the way it's sitting. Floors in this, again, it's been used as storage because we had it at a swap meet on the trailer. Can't see diddly in there, but the floors in this thing are actually really good. But yeah, I don't know if this trunk, you want to hold this for me, sweetie? Oh yeah. So like I said, you can get an idea of the floors here. They're actually pretty amazing for this thing sitting in the dirt. Somebody lost their rope. I think that's rope. We're going to claim it's rope. That's been sitting there a minute.
Ew.
Yeah. So when we bring this home, the spare tire, that's wedged in there good. The spare tire wheel well was rusted anyway from sitting in the dirt, but it was directly over the cab of that truck in the semi-trailer. And I was like, no, I'm not taking a chance in that smashing that cab. So we buzzed that off of the Sawzall, and but it needed repaired anyway. I don't know that anybody would put that back in there, but got some bruises in the trunk. Check out that tail light. Is that not cool? Or what? It's a ship. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know what the affiliation with Plymouth was and boats, but you can see it in the emblem there too. But
pretty cool.
That latches.
I think we had some lenses.
Yeah, we had this.
pile.
We had these.
Yeah.
And some of our NOS tail lights. She's pretty beat down. She's got a big bruise there. Like Alicia said, this side isn't as bad. I think when they did that other side, they actually didn't have the door shut all the way, or they went under the door to start with, pulled it out, closed the door, and then did it. Because it's been changed twice.
Yeah.
That
would make sense.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how solid this thing actually is. Like I said, it'd been sitting in been sitting in the dirt for years. It should look like that pedal car, but it doesn't. This rocker's got some rust and stuff, but shuts better than most new Indiana stuff. But my thoughts for this is, and this is what I'm really thinking the next build should be, my next build, first build for the channel, a tribute car for like a 1960s, 1970s, I don't know if that's called a late model. I have no idea what.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can appreciate the old school race cars. I have no idea what the classes are called. But anyway, doing a tribute build, kind of, to a early circle track car, you know, when the whole field was nothing but these old coupes. I think that would be really cool to build. But here's the twist side of that is not post-accident. Man, I am just jumbling my words. Pre-accident, several years ago, I used to do a lot of figure eight racing and did trailer racing as well, and figure eight trailer racing. If you've never seen a trailer race, that's where you hook a boat or a camper or some other kind of small trailer on your vehicle and you race with other competitors, and the goal is to knock other people's trailers off, and it's absolute carnage the entire race. So my thoughts are to build this as, why are you smirking at me like that?
Just imagining it. It just sounds hilarious.
Yeah, that was pre-Alicia as well.
I've never seen one of these.
She would have a heart attack. So my thoughts are, and you guys let me know what you think. I feel like this car is just crappy enough that it would be a shame to build a race car out of it. Obviously, I would strip anything good out of it before it got the chance of getting smashed. But what I'm thinking, I will try to find a Google image here to insert to give you an idea of what I'm thinking on this build. But because this car has got, somebody's used a torch to cut off the doghouse brackets, the fender brackets, all that stuff's been torched off. And I mean, it would just take a lot to put this thing back to a respectable condition. But my thoughts is to build a 2x4, 2x5 frame and use the 8-lug suspension out of a square body. And I say that because that was what was common, at least in this area. I don't know about others. I've seen a lot of old school builds. We've got something over there raising cane. To use truck suspension in these, and some of the trucks we saved from, or not saved, some of the trucks we got at the what was the name of that town that starts with a D? Dunkirk. I always want to call it Decatur, and that is nowhere near the same area. Some of the trucks we got up there in Dunkirk, I saved that engine cradle and the rear end out of it and stuff. But what I'm thinking here, use that whole cradle, all the suspension out of it, and then in the back, I would do swing arm suspension, like out of the, was it 60 to 72 Chevy trucks had the swing arm suspension. That's what I'm thinking for the back. So I apologize for saying so much. That's just what happens when you have a slow brain. But thinking about doing that in the back with coilovers or coil springs, and building a race car that can actually be raced somewhat, and put a legit roll cage in it. I'm gonna make it safe, and
it'd be really different than a lot of things.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. To look at it, it's going to look like a vintage race car. It's going to have a full cage, modern roll cage, and none of this black pipe crap that a lot of guys run in these trailer race cars. But a legit roll cage in it, but I'm going to keep it street legal. So that's kind of my thing. Kind of make it a moonshine buggy, so to speak, in the sense of whatever I build as a trailer would have to be something cool. I don't know what. So. Yeah. But that's kind of my thoughts for the next build there. I don't know I don't know how hard we'll pursue that. I don't know. But I think it'd be a fun build, be something cool to do. And then one more parts truck, half of a parts truck. You guys seen this in the last video. Custom Deluxe, big back window truck. I have no idea what drivetrain's in this, if anything. There's nothing in it, so I can see through it. But that's what we got out here. Oh, I missed one of the important trucks. Let's swing around this way. The truck we just did the revival on. 67 GMC. This thing is really, really solid. And, you know, you talk about these old trucks, sometimes people are like, oh, it's all rattly, it's clangy. This thing doesn't have any freaking rattles. Other than that driver's window doesn't hardly have any felt around it no more. Thing drives amazing. 6-cylinder, 4-speed. You guys seen it in the last revival video. Still needs a set of rubber on it, a set of tires. It does have a little bit of rust. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but she's really solid for a 67. You're not gonna find one like this in Indiana. It has rust right here on both sides underneath that seal plate, and the other side I think has more rust in the rocker because somebody's capped it really poorly. So worst case scenario, it would need a cab corner and a rocker, I believe, and that would bring it around. The floors are solid. Still got the factory rubber insulation glued down. I didn't want to jack with that none, but you know, these are the same as the other trucks. They're all rust out across the top. That visor's a little crunchy. Turns out it gets a little hot out there in Kansas and things crack up. But we did a search on LMC's website, and I looked up basically everything to make this truck really gooder. It's got a brand new windshield in it with the new seal, to get a new dash pad, everything to restore the seat, a new floor mat.
Choke cable.
It needs a choke cable. That's the worst thing about it running right now. The choke cable's seized up, and so you can't run the choke, and that makes it hard to start. But once it's warmed up, you're good. Anyway, basically everything to make this truck really good was going to be around $600 or $700. And like I said, that's a dash pad, a floor mat, new seal plates. This plate here, that's new. Those new rubber on the floor, new gas pedal. What else was there? The choke cable. What else? I can't remember. There was a lot of there was a lot of little piddly things that the truck needs that are easy installs, easy to do. So for like $700, somebody could make this thing really, really good, and it would still need rubber.
Did we have did the gauges working?
This does not have gauges. This has dummy lights, and I believe they all work. So you get a fuel gauge that I don't think is hooked up, if I remember right.
I can't remember.
Yeah, the speedometer works, and the oil pressure, dummy light, and the generator light work. Certain signals don't work. That's one thing I forgot to look up. The horn was working and it stopped. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it blew a fuse or what. But this seat is actually out of that four-wheel drive over there. It's just as crusty. There's no pliable there. But like I said, the rebuild kit for those is actually really affordable through LMC. And I will tell you, this isn't a paid sponsorship, but it definitely could be, LMC, if you're watching. I compared every known vendor that I could find for Chevy trucks, and LMC blew them out of the water on price. Now, I don't know where the stuff's made. I don't know if I had that information, but a guy could spend another $1,000 on this and have an amazing
older vehicle,
cool driver truck that's reliable, and have a good driver. We might do a video on this in the future, buff it out, put some what do they call that, sweet patina sauce. I think that's what Puddin uses. Puddin's Fab Shop is a reference in there, but might do that. I currently have this listed for $5,500 just because it is so solid and it is amazing to drive. We've had it to a couple car shows. It needs to be reliable driver, not a appearance thing. It needs a U-joint, and that's the only thing I can only reason I can find out or figure out why this thing was parked, because I don't know if you guys seen the other, or if that made the other videos or not. This gentleman that had these trucks back in the day, the Ford, the Teal truck, all came from the same place, and the same gentleman I was talking about had dementia. He had deals with the car lots back in the day that if they got a trade-in, he had a flat rate that he gave them. It didn't matter how crappy it was or how nice it was, an agreement, he just bought them out flat across the board. And when something simple would go wrong with the truck or a car, they just park it and pull another one out of the lineup that didn't need anything. Why would you work on something when you have a lineup of cars? Came to the conclusion this thing was parked because it had a bad U-joint. That's the only thing that's been wrong with this truck, that's not from setting. So it needs a U-joint, and I think the wheel cylinders in the back are starting to seep. So, and I'll be honest with you, we didn't even have to bleed the brakes on this thing to drive it. We put fluid in it and started driving it. That's how solid it was. This truck was sold to Kansas, correct me here, sweetie, fix my memory, Kansas State Parks and Recreation or something like that.
Whatever the title is. It'd be like our DNR in Indiana.
Yeah, so it's a shame that we lost it, but this truck was in a hellstorm out there, as every vehicle in Kansas is. But it had a big sticker right here that we lost when we had the windshield replaced. And it was Kansas State Parks and Recreation. And a little bit digging I found, and of what I've been told, what my assumption that I'm 99% confident in was these trucks were used for 10 years for the state of Kansas, and then they get traded in for a new vehicle. Well, this truck has still got the plates on it from Kansas. In 1978 is when this thing was last plated in Kansas. So you think about that, truck's a 67, it probably never left whatever park it was stationed at for 10 years. And then it was only drove for 2 years after that. So this thing was parked it was only drove for a year after that. So this truck has actually only got 11 years of use on it. Which you think about that, that's pretty crazy. And if I remember right, this speedometer, the speedometer, you're right, I said it wrong, I said speedometer. The odometer reads 29,000. So unfortunately all the pedal covers are gone. So that indicator's kind of gone as far as telling by the wear marks and stuff. But I'm going to go on a limb and say that's 120,000 miles. That's all it's on this truck.
Yeah.
Because at first 10 years of its life, it probably never left whatever state park it was in. So I would be confident in saying that. Obviously, it's had a mishap on this side because let that motorcycle go by. I hope he shuts that off. It's like 40 degrees out. I'm not sure why he's riding a motorcycle. Yeah, it's had a mishap because it's had a fender replaced on it at one point, and it's got the badge emblem there where there was no emblems on this truck, I don't believe. This is a stripped down model, radio delete, ashtray delete, that somebody, unfortunately, somebody helped themselves to the ashtray delete after I bought the truck at the auction, so we found another one. I think that's actually the ashtray, that's not delete. This is the radio delete plate though, but we found that, shoved that in there to fill the hole. So, but something cool I was saying, if anybody out in Kansas recognizes this dealership tag, this was gone when we got it.
Looks like it says country.
Does it? This is R-I-S-S-E.
Yeah, it looks like it says C-O-U-N and then R-Y, so I think it's country.
Yeah. If somebody knows that dealership or where that's at, if it's still in business, even if that place is still around or whatever, let us know. Comment down below, send us a message, something. Let us know what in the world that was. I would love to research that, see if we can't find out any more of the history on this truck.
Yeah.
So anyway, that one's for sale, $5,500 as it sits. If we keep doing work to it, like I hope to, that's going to go up quite a bit. And we'll see. I'm thinking about pulling this grill out, pulling that bruise out of it. Oh, that was something else that was included in that price, was the retainers for that headlight. The little plastic piece, the little plastic piece that goes in the core support's gone, and then the marker lights. Yep. So, yeah. The covers here. Yeah, those are a few things that was included in that. So that's what we got out here. Let's take you around to the side in the bullpen, and I'll show you what we got in there. There's only a couple there. Then I'll take you in the barn and the shop, show you what we got in there. We do have the factory wheels, split wheels off that truck, and center caps. I think we have 1 or 2 of those, and then 1 or 2 of the earlier GMC caps. So if somebody wanted that truck, those would certainly go with it. It's these 4 here with the split rims, if somebody wanted to ever make that, you know, factory again. I think that truck's worth the restoration. I would hate to see somebody put an LS in it. You know, there's plenty of other crappy trucks out there that don't have a drivetrain to stuff an LS in. That one's complete, it's fun to drive, it's solid. I'd really hate to hack that one up. So here's project number 1 that's in here. This is a 20s. I want to say it was advertised as a 27 Buick when we bought it, and the wheels on this thing were complete, the spokes and stuff, when we bought it. It had the steel rings, everything on it, but the property owner where this auction was held at out in Kansas decided to take it upon themselves to move it around and completely destroyed the wheels. But when we bought it, it had all the wood spokes on it. But thoughts with this, well, actually there's the outers of the wheels, I believe. This is complete with an engine. The engine's been tore apart, missing some pieces, but it would make a really cool speedster project, was my thoughts with it. Leave that big.
I was gonna say, we had a cool project idea for it, but we sold the second half.
Yeah. So one of the ideas we had was stretch it out a little bit, and I had an oil tanker bed off of like a 20s oil delivery truck, and we was going to put that on the back and made a C cab out of it just as a static display. But we sold that oil tanker bed at the last swap meet. So here's another one that's cheap. Oh, on that one there, on that Buick, I'd probably take $600 for it. That's basically what I got in it. So if somebody's interested in that, get with me. That does have a good vent on the frame too, so I can get you a title if somebody really wanted that, to build a speedster out of it and make it street legal. Project number 2 inside the pin here. I don't know what year this is. I'm guessing late 20s. It's a Dodge Brothers. We do have the front fenders for it, the front axle for it. It was dismantled, and this whole front end here is just sitting on there, if I remember right, because we dismantled this to bring it home and shoved it underneath the front of a big truck. If you guys watched, if any of you guys watched Corey Wheat Customs, we hauled home what is now Hannah's welder's truck. We hauled that home from Silas, which is Adventures Made from Scratch. We went and picked that truck up for them and hauled it down there to Southern Indiana for them. This was shoved underneath the front of that truck when we had it in the trailer. So
yeah, we put this together at I think the swap meet at Bunker Hill for display.
Yeah, it's just bungeed.
Kind of bungeed together.
Yeah, this car's rough. I've been told that the VIN is stamped into the frame right in here somewhere, and so as long as we could find that VIN, I can get you a legal title in my name for that if somebody was interested in it. So looks like I have $800 on there, but I am very negotiable on that if somebody would love to have this in their life. It would be an awesome piece of yard art, or somebody wanted a really low buck rat rod. It'd be good for that too. You could This is a car you don't care about cutting up, in my opinion. You can section this body, lower it down, chop the top off of it, make you a big 4-door roadster out of it, and enjoy it. You know what I mean? You could build this, put a small block in it. You could run that. I think the frame in this is stout enough to handle a V8. Throw your modern rear end underneath them rear leaf springs, or on them rear leaf springs, and you could have a really cool, cheap, low buck family cruiser. So parts car, this came from the Dunkirk auction, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to pull some stainless off this and send it on its way, unless somebody needs parts off this. It's a Packard Clipper. I don't know the years of these cars. They're not a desirable car. It has some cool pieces. The steering wheel's kind of cool. Probably pull that, and she's going to go to the shredder. So if somebody knows somebody that needs parts with them, or parts off this, get with us quickly, because this is in line to be dismantled pretty quick, and it's going to go. There's not a whole lot of parts on it to be left, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure why I brung that one home. Next one up, 64 5 or 6 GMC, really rotten, as you can see. She's crusty as all get out, but it has a ton of small parts on it, and believe it or not, this has a big block Pontiac with a turbo 400. Use what you got, I guess. But it is crusty. I'm sure that motor's locked up, but we're obviously going to tear into it and see what we got going on. That is a seat for one of these trucks. And people, you know, like, why in the world are you saving that? Well, that's because all these springs are good, and the framework's all good, the sliders are good, and you could buy foam and the cover for around $300, and you basically have a new seat. Yep. So don't get rid of your seats like that, because these seats are absolutely insane if you have to buy one. And I'm not sure what truck this came out of, but it's well worth fixing. We've got a couple of these around here that we hoard because they're so hard to find that ain't rotted out. That's it out here. I'll take you in the shop, or actually in here we have, and I apologize for this horrible lighting, we have Stone Age lighting in this part of the shop that, or in the barn rather, that has to warm up. You know, that side's fine, not this end. But anyway, one's a 35, one's a 36, if I remember right. One's a Plymouth, one's a Dodge. Exact same car, as far as I'm concerned. 4-door slant back. I have acquired all the doors for this body, and somebody could build that and have a low buck family cruiser as well. Or you can take the more desirable slant back part off of this, which was my plan, was to cut this up and make a 2-door slant back, because them humpbacks are hideous in my opinion. I cannot stand that. I just vomit. This car came from Colorado. A friend dug it out of a wash where it had been left for scrap, and for good reason, because, well, it was scrap. It was basically ripped in two, where the A-pillar and the top seam up there meet. It was basically ripped, so we went ahead and cut that in half, and I don't think there's any floors in this 2-door part. And so we ripped it apart so we could load it in the semi. And like I say, I brung that one back from New Mexico way before I ever even knew this car existed. And when I got that car, it had 3 doors. I found the 4th door in Kansas, put it to, so it can be put as a complete body right now. And then like I said, we got this 2-door, and I do have a grill shell that matches these cars. The grill shell is probably worth as much as the cars. If somebody wanted either one of those bodies, $500 a piece, and if they have a VIN on them, I can get them titled. I can get one of them titled, the one from Kansas. Wait a minute, I'm telling you wrong. I'm pretty sure, I have to check on it. I'm pretty sure I can get both of these titled, depending on where they come from. Maybe one of them. Anyway, $500 with no title. If I can get you a title, you pay for the legwork if you want a title. But $500 a piece, $1,000 for the pair if somebody wants those. But that's the only ones we got out here in the barn right now. Here's the last project that was bought to build for myself, and I was excited to get it because I had a Model A truck that I was building as a traditional hot rod right before I had my surgery as well, and I parted that truck out, but I kept the built flathead V8 I have for it. And so I thought about putting that V8 in this and building a traditional hot rod out of this 31 Roadster. This is a deluxe, so it has dual spare tires on the fenders, and I do have the fenders. It has, I have the frame. I have everything, every major component to put this car together, I believe. Even to put it stock. This car was stock when it went into this last collection that we bought it from, which was all this stuff here. All this in these totes is Model A parts. I don't know if I've ever showed that or not. When we bought out, I guess I posted the video. It was one of the first videos we did. Anyway, everything to make this car pretty well stock is somewhere in these totes. And I don't care to necessarily build it stock, but we've got the built flathead over here with Offenhauser heads on it. Dual carb intake with Stromberg 97s on it. That was going to be the drivetrain for this car. Now I'm kind of wishy-washy on building it. I don't know. If somebody wanted that and made me a respectable offer, I'd probably take it. It does have a title. I've not put it in my name yet, but I will. No worries on that because it came out of a Model A family, I'll call it. They've had a lot of Model A's, and I would not be worried about anything they titled. So that's the last project we got. So let me know what you guys think we should build, what we should do, and give me some feedback, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I need to clear out some of these Model A parts. So share our videos and our eBay store with your Model A friends. I really need to thin down the Model A collection of stuff. We have more than I'll ever use. So, yeah. But let me know what you guys think we should build first for the channel. Got some 2-door sedan doors if you know anybody needing those. Yeah. So, anywho, enough of the rambling. Give me some input, guys. What do you think I should build? What do you think would be the most entertaining, I guess? Because that's the goal here. The people has got subscribed, I want to do something that they're going to enjoy as well as we're going to enjoy. Right now, I'm leaning really hard on building that Plymouth Coupe because you can cruise it, you can enjoy it, we can race it, and be good for content. In my opinion, I think it'd be good for content. So, give me your input, guys. What do you think? We'll try to involve the boys as much as we can as well on the builds. I'm going to try to get Austin to do his own build here soon. He doesn't know that yet. But I might give him one of these cheap cars if I think I can get him ambitious enough to work on it. But anyway, give us some input. Go to our eBay store, follow us there. We have Facebook. It's just Snagtown Automotive and Fav, I believe. Follow us there. Smash that like button, the subscribe, all the stuff the cool kids do. Yeah. So, yeah. Stick with us, give us some input. We'll see you on the next video, guys.